Good morning. It is the 18th of October 2019. Can Bitcoin hold $7,900? I'm not sure if you heard that cheering. I'm not sure where it came from, but I'm happy for it. In this video, we're going to ask a very important question about Bitcoin. It's a question that everyone's trying to answer right now. Bulls are saying that we're going to bounce off this level and we're going to go up. Bears feel this is a staging ground for further drops. Altcoin traders are uncertain as Bitcoin dominance rises on weakening Bitcoin prices. It's crazy. Now, we'll jump into the episode. This isn't trading advice. This is just market observation. All right, there we are. Today, we're going to compare two scenarios and compare what potentially could happen if Bitcoin breaks to the upside, and we're going to look out for what might happen if we have continuing weakness. Our indicators should tell us specifically what we're looking for. Now, if you've been watching earlier videos this week, we've explored the potential for a breakout to the upside, and we compared that against our indicators, so you may already know what we're looking for here. Before I get in here further, I got to verify I'm streaming in the right place. Indeed I am, and I'm going to double check. Hey, our stream is working. Good to see you guys along. We got LG Beer, good to have you along. Celil is here. Thank you for joining in this morning. So here we are looking at Bitcoin prices, and we're looking at the weekly view of the relative strength index. Your eye may be going to the same place as mine, that if this relative strength index breaks lower than these levels, we are definitely going down further. And I don't like to use the word definitely, but that's what this is telling me here, just in the first glimpse. And usually this long-term RSI is just a killer in how good it is. Now, we're also watching for this divergence. And this is one of the things that the bullish part of me wants to see. I've had this situation before, if you flip this chart upside down, where I've had a potential breakout to the upside, right? If this was upside down, this would be a potential breakout to the upside from a beautiful bottom formation. And then it turns around and goes the other way on me because I've seen these indicators. At the same time, this is a beautiful formation, and this would be a great continuation that would really fit in well. And I'm going to zoom back to the daily view here, get rid of the indicator for a second, go back to our logarithmic view, and you know what I'm probably going to do here. I'm drawing out this trend line day after day because this is pretty much the basis of what I'm watching for the next while. And I'm just watching these indicators to see if it actually plans itself out this way. And how is it going to happen? That we're going to come down to this trend line and make our way up. It's going to be long and slow and painful. Everybody's going to be in super denial, especially at this point here. We should be having the worst bear stories in the news you could possibly hear. And that's when we're going to see our 1, 2, 3 formation setting up. So if I zoom back in on this, it was a potential 1, 2, 3 that was almost breaking out. It was looking so good, but now we've got a whole new 3 points off this bottom. So I count them all as a number 1 now. And we have to build a new number 1, 2, 3 formation to build up and go higher out of this, and before it can possibly turn into a bull signal. So on this shorter time frame, we've been watching for the RSI trend line to break and looking for any kind of trend line break of that as our sign of weakness here, and it's been unfolding. So continued RSI weakness here is going to be going along with the chart coming down. And we'll have to see this break and build a divergence here for the bulls to get any power. All right, let's zoom in more now from the 12-hour just to keep up with the data analysis here. Again, it's this break of this trend line that we've been watching. However, now we have a bit of a divergence right at this tip, which is sort of the new material for today since yesterday. Is what did the RSI do compared to these lower lows? Even though we've come down to these lower lows, we've got a pretty good swath of volume stopping it. Every time we've come to these, we've had this volume stopping it. So the bulls really hold on. If they're holding a small loss right now, it's a lot of prayer going on for this to be a real divergence that's going to take us up and pick us out of here. I hope the other indicators are giving us some juice. But for now, it's not looking good from this. And I come into this looking to be bullish on this. I want Bitcoin to go up. So when I see these indicators setting up, here we're looking at the selling. What's going on with the selling? It can't stay in selling mode and go up. If it continues to deepen, of course, that's going down more. And it'll occur at the very same time that this is breaking these levels. We'll see the relative strength the unbalanced volume break down below these levels. We'll see that just gain more negative volume coming in. So you can really zoom in on this chart. That's the daily. There's the 12-hour, giving us a more clear area where that would be a confirmation. So again, here's the confirmation area as the selling volume is deepening past these levels as we're going down. That's a confirmation that you could feather in a short and be super on guard against those damn turnarounds that are there just to manipulate the markets. So this was deeper selling and less deep selling here. That's pretty important that we had a swath of buying in the middle and that we have the same divergence setting up as in the RSI. So let's watch this and see how it plays out over the next few days. We got a pretty clear area as to where, if this is breaking and we're getting this kind of negative selling, okay. And we know if the RSI is breaking those areas, we've got a pretty good confirmation already just with these two indicators. The weekly view of the MACD indicator has been, bearish for a long time here. The daily view had switched to bullish for a while and really got me going. But now as this comes up to cross over, that's a super sell signal right there. We're getting the confirmations all built up. The 12-hour has already crossed the negative. And this was holding hope for a while, right until it broke these levels. I'm not I'm not bullish. All right. I love to see that we have such specific indicators giving us confirmation, but I don't like when it comes down and gives us a divergence and then we'll get it cross to the negative. So again, we've got three things to watch now. We've got the on-balance volume coming down. We've got this 4-hour EMA has got to cross to the negative again while that's breaking, and we've got more confirmation of the sell signal. So that's pretty not so good that it's switching back while the 12-hour is weak. How about the 1 hour? Okay, that's not strong at all. It's not strong, but it is giving us a potential for a bullish divergence. So again, it's just this little tip here of a divergence in the RSI, and I don't give it enough juice that it's holding the whole thing up yet. This little divergence I don't think, is holding this whole thing up. I still think we're going down further. Let's go into the Ichimoku cloud, which has been negative for a bit. In the last couple days, on the weekly view, this crossed over. And it's been something I've been watching and just wanting to be aware of, because when that crossed over on the shorter time frames, it gave us the bear signal earlier. So when we had this crossover to the negative and we were breaking through these patterns, we had to twist to the negative. All this daily stuff was negative a long time before it actually broke, and we were pointing it out and talking about it all the way through this triangle, saying that's very bearish. And sure enough, it all cracked. It hasn't come anywhere near bullish at all in the 1 day time frame. It is not getting us into any bullish territory in the 12-hour time frame. In fact, we are still crossed to the negative right here. All below the cloud, big thick cloud, at least sideways action here. The trailing indicator has crossed through all three now and is down below. So all of these things are giving me really bearish views. Now let's zoom in now to see if it's got that same divergence right at the tip, because the 4 hour is still shitty. That's still down. We go on to the 1 hour time frame. It has also crossed to the negative. We are down below these technical levels. If I'm a 1, 2, 3 trader and we're getting these 1, 2, 3s that are breaking and breaking and breaking, those are all stages down. So now it has to do all of that stuff in reverse to get me bullish again. It has to stage above this, make support, stage above this, make support. We got a long ways to go before I'll change to a bullish tune out of this. Even though it could be a perfect swing trader's entry, it's not good for a trend trader at these moments. It's trending down. Now if I go into the Bollinger Band, and this is the newest one for me that I've started to go on a daily basis, and really I'm completely unqualified to be commenting on this. So take that into consideration as I go through this. Just make that stand out a bit more. Let's say this is at the bottom range. It's not necessarily a bounce up point. It could stay at the top of this range or at the bottom of this range for a long time. That's nothing saying on this chart. I'm just observing. Now as we get into the daily, I like this because I started to go back and really look at every point that it came to a squeezed neck like we have now. It doesn't mean it's going to go up or down, but if it's pushing against the bottom of that squeezed neck, I'm betting on it going down. Let's go on to the 12-hour view. Here's that squeezed neck again, and we're pushing against this. Should this widen as we are pressing down? I think that there's more of this coming so far. Let's go in closer, because it was like right at the 1 hour time frame that this was giving us some juice yesterday, and not so much today, because yesterday I was watching for this bounce up from here and it just didn't have the structure. It broke it. So on the 1 hour time frame yesterday, we were coming off these levels. It crossed through the midline and went above it, but didn't stay there long, and it's down below that midline again and pressing against the outside of this edge. So it's not looking bullish, that's for sure. Even at this level, I'm not getting a turnaround. I'm not getting what I would say is a swing trader's entry. So you correct me if I'm wrong and you see something in this Bollinger Band chart that I'm clearly missing. I'd love to have your comments. Sometimes, and I'd say more often than not, the comments down below the videos are more important and more valuable than some of the content in the video. So I love reading the comments. Let me head over to Bitcoin dominance, and then I'll go back to the chat. This always takes a bit to load up when I do that. Let's go into altcoin market cap. It has been on a downtrend and has made little top formation out of this parallel channel and been breaking down lower. So while it's inside this level, it's pretty uncertain for the alts. I got to wait for this to be building back up as Bitcoin dominance is dropping more, and that's going to give us more indication of the altcoin markets taking off. So here's Bitcoin dominance, top formation. It's been looking pretty good. Can I draw on this? Top formation here, head and shoulders, top formation break here. Now we have some more consolidation. And there's no way to know which way it's going to go, but this is another 1, 2, 3 formation that if it breaks below these levels, the alts are going to all blast out of whatever remaining bottom formations they are in right now. We're going to have them all taking off. We already saw a really good first generation of the altcoins take off from these bottom formations here. And if we go over to our crypto signals page, we can see the results from our live hold trades right now. Not all of the alts are into bad situation. We got into some of these really nice and early. Our stops are above our entries, and we are just watching to see how far these end up going. So Bitcoin dominance could pull back. Some of those alts could pull back. But the most important thing, the most urgent thing, and the most money-making thing is to know when to get in and arguably when to get out is more important than when to get in. So the most important tool that I can provide for you, the most important service, these videos are good. I hope they're educational for you. But the most important real data and service that I provide is the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, you get to see exactly when things are actually happening. And so you're not looking at this stuff late. Look at what happened here. These numbers may not mean much to you, but this is the hold status coins back in early September in Binance. So we had 6 hold status coins on September the 2nd, 4 of them on the 7th, and then they started to climb. This is when we were getting into our trades. Then we were up to 31. We hit a peak of 79 hold status coins on the 8th of October. That's a month later. This is all of the profits all coming in. Did you catch these profits? Now we've gone from 72 hold status coins down to 40 hold status coins. Did you scoop these profits and then get out of these markets and sit aside to see if they are going to pull down or go up from here? Or should we redeploy? But we certainly pulled out some nice profits out of this. And if you are not getting this data, this is urgent information. This is timely information. and it is cost-effective information. This is the cheapest way that you can get scans of every single one of the cryptocurrencies. Go and check it out over on the website, intro-to-cryptos.ca. We'll be having our patron membership drive starting October the 28th. We'll have about a 5-day window opening October 28th until November the 1st, and then we close our patron group again. There will be 7 spots at $15 that are available when that opens in 10 days. So I will remind you each day on this live stream that our patron sponsorship drive is happening in 10 days, and there are limited spots available at the lowest price tiers. So I hope you guys are watching for that. If not, head over to the website, grab the free training there, and join us over on Discord, because we keep up this conversation about Bitcoin throughout the day. So it will not hold 7,900, says e-governance. Good to have you along, Willie Wids. Edward Park, good morning. Good to have you here. And my favorite Grecian is here from Greece. Bearish, everyone. Maybe time to long. Could be time to long, but not until it builds those structures, really. And then, of course, it's only time to put on depending on where you are, put on a part of your position and look to build out as things happen. But I'm really not going to expect that until we get a deeper 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that's giving us beautiful divergences in all of our indicators. This is giving us shit for indicators on bullish. And so there's really I'm not a swing trader, so this isn't giving me a swing trade entry here. If you guys know of a swing trade pattern that I should be looking at that I'm missing here, I want to know it. Put those in the comments for sure. But right now, for my own plan, this isn't giving me any bull signals at all. And that's why I'm waiting for that 5,800. I expect that we're going to come down to those levels. So 10 hours till BitMet funds turns negative could be a chance for a little pump. Those are interesting data to know what is going on with the funding over on BitMEX, that's for sure. A lot of people said the same around 10K. Everyone's waiting for 8K. That's cherry picking. It completely depends on how you gather the information. Well, let's go into that a little bit. I love it. That's a great comment. Let's go to the 1-year view, get rid of this indicator. Maybe you were new to the channel, haven't been here since earlier. I've been doing this in log view all the way along. But when I take this basic trend line in our logarithm view, this calls for a pullback and it gives us a specific place. And I already have a specific pattern that I'm looking for. It's the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We had some great signals for it back in this time frame as it made the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. You can see it building up here. It was clear as could be. Beautiful. And we're looking for the same type of thing here. The better thing about it, though, is that when we look back at this huge 1, 2, 3 bottom, it was really screaming major divergences all the way along here. So even though everybody was super bearish at this time, I was like not wanting to sound crazy, but it was a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom formation setting up there. This is what we're looking for again. So it doesn't matter if we're looking to get into a trade, we're looking for the 1, 2, 3, or we're looking to get out of the trade, we're looking for that 1, 2, 3 formation. It happens in all time scales, and if you know it and you just trade that and sit and trade that, there's a lot of nothing to do. It's a lot better way to trade for me than to be day trading and jumping in and out. For me, this feels like I put my money there and it's working for me while I'm doing other things, instead of me having to be there all the time for it. So anyway, I do believe it's coming down. We're going to see a good sharp move. I don't know what that's going to do to the alts. I'm hoping that it brings the alts back up so that if you have US dollars in alts, it'll stay the same US dollar value as Bitcoin goes down and alts go up, at least that much. We'll have to see how that plans out. I don't know. So Madrid, East Coast cookie boy, Madrid moving averages were correct. Moving averages work. That's it. This is what we work on here, is exponential moving averages with the 1, 2, 3 formation as a filter and our indicators to help guide us along. So whatever style of moving averages, whatever style you use probably works. Just get used to using it. So whales can pump the price a little, but if people get excited again, suck them in, but the overall trends look bearish. I agree. Hey, S was good to have you along. Thanks from Holland. Human psychology is my favorite indicator while trading these markets. A nice example was Monero 2 days ago. XMR is dead. Then it pumped 13%. Monero did a good move, and it's something that I always miss, that kind of move. I never get that. In fact, my trading system is made to filter that kind of move out. So if I go to Poloniex, just because I'm familiar with it, and we go into XMR, and we pull it back, let's go to a 3-day view. So it did a 1, 2, 3 formation. It came flat, it did a 1, 2, 3 formation, and it broke higher than that. It even came back and retested it and gave us our second entry point on the 15-minute time frame. And I filter that stuff out. So when I go back to the 12-month view, this is a number 1 point, and I know that there's a 1, 2, 3 inside that number 1 point if I zoom in on it, but I step back from those, and I'm really looking for the change of trend. So for me, even though this has pumped up a little bit, I completely ignore that, and I don't want to. I don't want to start paying attention to those kind of moves. It hasn't changed direction yet. I find that I always get chewed up on those kind of moves. Wait for me. Wait, do something. Change, really actually change direction. Then I'll get on. Other than that, no, I'm not jumping on those. 13% is chicken feed in the cryptocurrencies. When you sit on these things, you're going to do far better with a lot less work. Have you ever gone through a trade, did a whole bunch of work on it, and then you look back and said, well, if I had just done nothing and stayed short, I would have done so much better? Or conversely, if I'd have done just nothing and stayed long on this, I would have done much better. There's a time to jump in, there's a time to jump out, and there's a filter mechanism to let the dog walk the path back and forth without getting freaked out, right? If the dog walks to one edge of the path, then to the other, then to the... You got to give it room to move. There has to be that flexibility, and that's what the exponential moving averages are for, and I hope that Madrid moving averages uses the same thing. So leather gloves, good name. Hi. When will you have auto follow trade? I am working on that now. We have the pro trade alerts, and we have them so that you can log into the spreadsheet and see everything on Poloniex and Binance on the website. We have a daily wrap up of just what happened today in alerts, holds, and closes, and that goes out by email. And then we have the instant notifications over on Discord. But there's still two more changes I want to do to that spreadsheet before I hook it up to Signally, and then you'll be able to just use Signally to connect it up to your Binance account, and it'll trade for you. I'm super keen about it because I wanted to use it for my account. Even if nobody else signs up for it, this will save me a ton of work doing the spreadsheets and everything, and then going over to my trades themselves. This will save me a ton of work. So I'm super keen to get that hooked up. There are two things I want to have working better before I hook it up. And so I'm working with my programmer on the spreadsheet on that to be sure that we have better real-time action and there's not as much lag as what I'm seeing right now. Because the way I trade, lag for a half an hour, or a day is fine. It's okay because I'm trading back this far back from the charts that really, if I miss this signal by a day and I miss this signal by a day, it's okay, really. It doesn't matter that much. I'm not day trading. But I do want the spreadsheet to be a little quicker than it is right now. I think it'll pop back to the $8,000 later. Hey, AOL Chandra, good to have you along. AOL Chandra is my partner in putting this spreadsheet together. And so I'm super grateful to wake up myself. I like waking up, knowing that AOL Chandra has already finished this spreadsheet before I got up. I'm not even making my coffee yet, and she's got this data ready for me. So if you're interested in this kind of information, there's only one place for it. And we make it affordable because I want to help as many people as possible. It would be great to have 1,000 people signed up for this. This would really make my day. It would really improve the project. There would be so much more development going on. Anyway, I can go on. Yes, I can't wait too, Leather, and I'll let you know. We'll have an email going out about that because it's coming close. Now, I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys later. I appreciate you being along. I hope this is helpful for you. Let's join together over on Discord chat. Now, back to the funky intro.